Today's video is brought to you by Grey Viking Games. Click the link in the description below to buy MTG Arena codes for cosmetics, packs, and more. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Jeff, and today we're gonna have some fun playing Magic. And today we are playing some Inkling Tempo. So I've actually had a lot of requests for me to play Inklings, and it's really a hard deck to build around. First off, these are all of the cards that actually make Inklings. And two of these are lesson cards, which we do have in the sideboard. And some of them, like Umbral Juke, are not actually the best of cards, but still totally playable. 3 mana, choose one, target player sacrifices a creature or planeswalker, or you get to create a 2/1 white and black Inkling creature token of flying. This is instant speed, which is kind of nice, but not super effective for 3 mana. However, Dramatic Finale does give us a shot to make this deck totally busted. 4 mana enchantment, creature tokens you control get +1/+1. Whenever one or more non-token creatures you control die, create a 2/1 white and black Inkling creature token with flying. This ability triggers only once each turn. So if we have any of our non-token creatures die, with that out, we do get to start making some Inklings and start hitting in through the air, which is kind of nice board rate protection, and let's just kind of keep tempoing out our opponent. So we have some aggressive plays here, although we're not fully a Magecraft Clever Lumimancer deck. But being able to play this out on turn 1 and then Humiliate, put a counter onto it, hidden for 3 on turn 2 is that's just too powerful not to do. And we kind of get a different take on the Magecraft deck by having Heartless Act, Bloodchief's Thirst, a bunch of removal to make sure that we are killing our opponent while taking care of all of their creatures. Elite Spellbinder is a perfect addition to this deck as well, making sure that we can turn off that board right for 1 extra turn to let us play out our Dramatic Finale. Then in the late game, we can Blot Out the Sky, which makes just a bunch of Inklings. The biggest issue with this is that they all come in taps. So if we are trying to play this out in response to them having a big board, getting ahead, they don't actually get to block, and they are just there for potentially hitting in for lots of damage on the next turn, especially if we have Dramatic Finale out on the battlefield. I am trying to test out Shadrix Silverquill again. I don't necessarily love this card, but it can occasionally be a good thing for this format. This is definitely more of a commander card. It's better when you have multiple opponents rather than just 2, and you're definitely giving them a benefit every single turn. Not the best. I am splashing red with 2 Savai Triomes here to let us play Extus, which we do have enough Magecraft to be able to bring back a bunch of creatures from the graveyard with our Professor of Symbologies, Clever Lumimancer, and Elite Spellbinder. And we do occasionally have the option to actually cast Awaken the Blood Avatar with the Savai Triome, which can be a really busted fun thing to do. So let's go ahead and check out how good Inklings can do in Standard. Before we jump to the gameplay, a quick thank you for almost 1,000 subscribers in 1 week. And if you haven't subscribed yet, jump on the bandwagon. Let's do it. Hit the subscribe button. All right, let's dive into the gameplay. All right, up against Natureza, and we will keep this hand. I like it. Oh, dang it. I meant to play out the Clever Lumimancer. Oh, well, that's fine. I meant to play out the Snarl into that. I did the opposite. I played out the Blades and then tried to show the Snarl off. Yeah, who does that? That's weird. All right, unfortunately, we don't get to actually cast anything on turn 2. We'll get in for 0, pass the turn. Got him. Oh boy. All right, let's see if Clever Lumimancer actually survives the turn. It definitely would be nice if it did, but not looking like that's the case. Elite Spellbinder. Prismari Command is their main way of dealing with what we've got. Sea Dash or Octopus can be annoying and come in. We can kill it in response. Actually, we can't with Bloodchief's Thirst, can we? They have 2 Prismari commands. Let's still get rid of one of those, make it a little bit harder to cast. No attacks, pass the turn. All right, so they get to Prismari Command in response to us doing stuff. And we've already shown that we don't actually have that much value with Clever Lumimancer so far, so maybe they go after Elite Spellbinder instead, which is actually probably worse for us. All right, Snarl is pretty nice there. So I can go for Extus and bring stuff back. That is actually rather nice as well. I don't think they have a lot of removal for this. They have Golden Spread Dragon on the next turn though, which then we can Bloodchief's Thirst, bring stuff back. All right, so let's go Extus, pass the turn. We'll try this out. I don't know. We're supposed to get in for damage at some point. I know that, but this is just kind of awkward. This gets in for quite a bit of damage, especially if we can give it flying and Silverquill Command on the next turn. We can actually kill the Goldsmith Dragon without targeting it, so it won't get extra treasures. So all that they'll have is the one extra treasure from before, hopefully no counter spell. And we get to give our Extus plus 3/3 and flying until end of turn, which will make it, you know, a 5/5 with double strike, which is decent, I've decided. All right, so Silverquill Command. Let's go flying and target what it sacrifices a creature. So yeah, we get to bring back the Elite Spellbinder. Okay, they sacrificed their dude. We hit in for 12. Down to 8. Pass the turn. Yeah, not too shabby. I mean, I don't think that we've won or anything yet, but that was pretty sweet. Goldsmith Dragon again, and we have Bloodchief's Thirst. All right, down to 12, 4 mana held up. They can flash in a Sea Dasher Octopus. Dracus gets a treasure by mutating onto this. What does this guy do again? Return target instant sorcery from graveyard to hand. Prismari Command, they have the mana to cast it. But, so they can actually go Sea Dasher Octopus again as well and bring, well, that's actually really cool. So they Prismari Command, kill this, create a treasure token, and then Sea Dasher Octopus to put it onto again, have an extra treasure. They actually have enough to kind of go off here. Because they get to keep the one extra treasure from Prismari Command, which lets them cast it again. Dude, that's pretty sweet stuff. Goldspan Mutate with these spells. Good stuff. Dang. All right, well, let's go. Do I want to play out the Elite Spellbinder? This is 5 mana right now anyway. We get a hit in for 8 if I just Heartless Act here. The big question is, do I need to make sure this Goldsmith Dragon dies? I think that we do it after we hit in for damage first. So Clever Lumimancer comes back to hand, and it would be nice just to play out creatures instead. We get a hit in here. Do we let them go off? Oh, I don't know. Elite Spellbinder, just a land, Clever Lumimancer. So they have Prismari Command on the next turn. They get to draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards as well. Create a treasure, hit in, get to create another treasure. I think going wide is still the better play. Showdown of the Scalds. That means no Prismari Command here, though. Yeah, that's awesome. We did it. They get to make a treasure here. Yeah, that was sweet. All right. I was not expecting to win that matchup. Honestly, their start was so slow. But Extus is awesome. Maybe I need to squeeze more copies of him in here. All right, a pretty slow hand. But we have removal. We have Dramatic Finale. Silverquill Command is also pretty nice. This is barely keepable because we're on the draw. We're going to be a little bit more on defense in general, so having removal is going to be nice. Typically, Killian's a pretty sweet draw there as well, letting us go a little bit more aggro. All right, that guy's got to die. Do I put Killian first? No. They might have fight as once. We're going to kill this now. Pass the turn. So with Silverquill Command, we can bring out Killian as a blocker. So we'll probably do that. Extus also is a pretty good blocker here for us as well, having double strike. they played the Worthy Knight after? Why'd you do that? All right, do I kill this? They're basically empty-handed now. We have Dramatic Finale on the next turn. If we block something, we get another blocker out of it. I think we take it one more turn, but man, we are falling very far behind. All right, so Silverquill Command, as long as it targets one of our creatures, spells that you cast that targeted creature costs 2 less. Do I have to target before it costs 2 less? I don't exactly know how that works out. These guys come in tapped, which is awful. We're taking how much? Way too much. All right, let's actually just throw out the Extus here. Pass the turn. Acclaimed Contender. So the Variable Knights is actually a little bit awkward here. So let's see if they find this heads up play. But swinging with both Venerable Knights lets them hit in and do some pretty good stuff, because Extus will kill the first one. At the first damage, they'll be able to put the counter onto the other one on the second before the damage actually goes through with Killian, and they'll be able to kill the Killian. We need to find removal for this Worthy Knight as soon as possible. Swings in with everything. Okay. So we get to kill the Inspiring Veteran before damage gets dealt. We get to kill the Worthy Knight now. All right, that actually turned out pretty well. This doesn't have Vigilance, does it? Okay. Bring guy back. I think we force him to sacrifice a creature. Even though they have lots of creatures to sacrifice, it still is just every little bit helps, you know? We need every little bit to win. So, okay. No attacks, pass the turn. Oi! Oi, oi, oi. That's game. We do get... So they actually kill us on first strike damage if I don't block here. So I have to block that one there. Oh, this is awkward. I can block this one here. Gain 2, we still take enough, yeah. Good game, you got us. Oh, man. Man, they just had a really aggressive start, and we did not have enough removal. Not enough targeted removal. All right, up against Barrel, and no black mana, so we got a mulligan. That was the first time we found a Humiliate. That would have been really nice. Keep this. We probably drop Dramatic Finale. Man, our Inkling stuff just isn't that solid. It's kind of sad, but it's the truth. All right, Humiliate is actually sweet. Now we have a way to deal a little bit with more controlling decks. Binding of the Titans. All right, well, Humiliate. All right, Doom Foretold seems like the most obvious one. We get to make everything a little bit more expensive, but their hand is already really expensive. So yeah, we just take Doom Foretold. Abzan stuff. Intriguing. Perfect draw. That is exactly what we needed right there. All right, Elite Spellbinder, take a peek at their hand again. All right, so Elswith's Conqueror's Death is the closest thing to have happen. Vorinclex we can actually deal with, and so we get rid of that for now. Yeah, making it 7 mana. Man, this is... I like this card a lot. Unfortunately, we haven't found the things like Heartless Act or anything else that might happen. Getting out Dramatic Finale will at least help in case they do have removal. Unfortunately, it doesn't stop the exile effect. And it doesn't actually help any of our creatures until they die. Oh no. Witherboom Command, really? Well, at least the next time something dies, we'll be able to do stuff. Oh yeah. Eerie Ultimatum. Return any number of permanent cards with different names from your graveyard to the battlefield. So filling up the graveyard like crazy pants. We do need to find ways to deal with that at some point. So we get to draw a card and return something back from the graveyard, right? So let's do that. Oh, they got rid of our stuff. Oh, I can't do anything. This is sorcery speed as well. That's right. They exiled it with the Binding of Titans. So they do have Vorinclex coming out next turn, right? So I guess to not take 6 damage, we Heartless Act. Oh man, yeah. I want to build an Inkling deck and make it work, but I feel like all of the good things in this deck are all the things that don't have anything to do with Inklings. We're gonna make Inklings win someday, somehow, though. Just you wait. Just you wait. So we know that they have Eerie Ultimatum coming out soon. So Silverquill, man. I guess now we draw a card, because, like, what else are we doing, right? Yeah. Yeah, these are completely dead as soon as they get rid of our two drops that we got. Oh, goodness. Otherwise, I really like Silverquill Command, but it definitely helps when you have things to target. Okay, Eerie Ultimatum. They got to it. They did it. I feel like you have to set this up in a way that you immediately win, which I think with Professor Onyx, there is a way to do that. Maybe Ugin as well. Like if you just like are milling out Ugin, you like have full place of Vorinclex. Honestly, yeah, maybe there is a place right now for Eerie Ultimatum combo win. Vorinclex lets you go off. Discard a card. Blot Out the Sky is our only way back from this scenario, right? Also, Nightmare takes one of our other things, so we're just going for Silverquill Command, I think. Let's get rid of Bloodchief's Thirst. Oh, now they get to sacrifice whatever creature they want. Oh, boy. Oh, it's so bad. Because it's sorcery speed. It's so bad. Oh, because I didn't pay anything, I have to pay more. Oh gosh, because I have to target something. So yeah, no, I'm dead. I'm done. I can't play anything unless I give him flying. I can't cast this for 2. Oh my goodness. Up against Savachan, and we're on the play. I think it's the first time yet. And this is a sweet hand for that. I do like Killian. Killian is awesome. Is it better than the Professor of Symbology right off the bat, though? Just because this does immediately get us to draw cards. I guess I'd rather see what else is going on in their hand. This does have lifelink and menace, so if they are bringing out blockers, this gets in for damage. Like it is good. It's just that they typically are going to have at least 1 piece removal in their opening hand, and this dying is worse. Let us draw a card. How about that? And we get to bring it back with Silverquill Command later. Okie dokie then. Do I need to go for Environmental Sciences here? Or do I have card draw I can go for? I could also just play out Inkling. That is kind of what we're trying to do. We have Dramatic Finale for later, so Sure, let's go Inklings. We came to play Inklings, so we're doing it. All right, playing this out before combat. Maybe we should have gone to combat first. Whatever. All right, this is going to be the game. The Inklings are going to do it for us. You guys just watch. Crap. Dude, Divide by Zero. This is a card that I feel like definitely needs to... it's going to see more and more play the more that people play it. That is really good. Being able to return... I always forget when I'm reading it that it's not just bounce a spell. It's you know, stop the ultimatum this turn and grab the learn spell that you need to be able to do more stuff. Like, it's actually good. Without dramatic finale again. Exile no land permanent. The controller draws a card. Ah, gosh. Okay, cool. Oh, this is gonna be a brutal match. I mean, our hand is still full. This is sorcery speed, right? Spellbinder or Inkling Summoning? We have another one of these dramatic finales. Taking a peek at the hand would have been really nice, but I feel like I'd rather maximize my mana later. Being able to have this and hold up a Heartless Act or whatever else is nice. Wouldn't mind finding Humiliate in this matchup. Right, they finally let it resolve, which they can kill next turn. But at least we draw a card. Swinging for 2. Oh yeah, getting in there. Down to 14, past the turn. Reign of Revelation. Is that better than Behold the Multiverse? I don't think so. Unless you're trying to discard cards. Or you're playing something like Mill, where you want to be drawing more cards to get more mill out of it. Then it's better. Graven Lore, probably what they're playing here as well. Blood in the Snow, probably playing as well. Maybe it's like Blood in the Snow, Mill, Professor Onyx into Fairy. Because I think Blood in the Snow lets you bring back a Planeswalker as well. I can't remember, actually. Yeah, okay. Blot Out the Sky here. Let's see if they have the board wipe. Down to 12. I mean, that's a faster clock. Don't have Blood in the Snow? It'd be nice of you to not, you know? I probably could have forced out the Blood in the Snow first, going Elite Spellbinder, holding up Heartless Act, I guess. I'm trying to remember what all Blood in the Snow does, actually. I don't think I remember. Shadow's Verdict. Exile stuff from the graveyard. Actually hurts our Silverquill Command quite a bit. Land would be nice. Go Elite Spellbinder, Inkling Summoning. Oh yeah, it's the only thing we got, so we're gonna do it. 5 by 0 returns it back to hand. Baleful Mastery can take away some removal. They can return our permanent back and then just learn. Might as well make this cost more. It's a higher chance that we'll get to draw with it instead if it costs more. And so setting up for future plays, you know. Oh yeah. Gee, we found all of the removal that doesn't matter in this matchup at all. Instant speed, sorcery speed. Force them to cast stuff first. This might be a Sot coming. If they had Alrund's Epiphany, they would have cast it right away. Is there anything else in black that it would be? Takes the damage. Wow. That's surprising. Well, this is literally our only spell we can actually cast. Targeting creature that we control would have been better, though. Maybe we do just hold off still. Pass the turn. They're going to draw cards. The reason why I didn't pump beforehand is because if I gave something +3 with flying, they divide by 0, bounce my permanent spell, and it dies. They Baneful, whatever, they bounce it back and it doesn't actually do any value then. Like I had a higher chance of getting it for damage without attacking it, which, by the way, I did. Does it mean that I'm getting ahead though? No. And so maybe it was better to still cast it just for the ability to draw a card there. Okay. Did they discard that divide by 0? I feel like that's an interesting play because it actually is pretty nice. Dude, all of these dead cards are really annoying. Playing this out now, I might even hold on to the Silverquill Command for the next turn to try to get to it. This Exiles. Trying to give him a different threat so that they will let this 2 damage go through. If I turn it into a 5/5, they'll definitely kill it. Just trying to play this as slow as possible, keep getting damage dealt to face. Heartless Act. Okay. So one of the nice things that we could, one reason we actually did want something like that, man, what do we do? That's the turn. Having a creature of our own, because they're not playing any creatures, we could technically Heartless Act, pump in when we have Clever Lumimancer on the next turn, try to go crazy there. 6 mana. They have 10 right now. Guessing the 6 mana version of it. Yeah, okay. It's exiled, so we don't get it back with Silverquill Command. Maybe I should have Heartless Act there. I forgot about the exile thing until I was saying it. All right, well, let's draw a card. Humiliate feels really bad here now. We don't get to put a creature onto it. They have 1 card left. It's probably just a land. The 1 card that actually matters is this one. They're debating right now if they want a Sot Coming or Silverquill Command just for letting us draw any cards. The one nice thing here, though, is that they haven't shown any way to win yet. Do we Humiliate before the Elite Spellbinder? This is 2 times to take a peek at the hand. If I Spellbinder first, it actually exiles the card away. Then we can't actually discard it. And if there's a land, there's the last card in hand, that doesn't really help us much. Okay, so I don't want to overcommit to my board now. So we're just going to go Spellbinder. Actually, maybe we do now. This is Sot Coming, most likely. Bloodchief's Thirst, nice. Okay, we got rid of removal. Oh no, we didn't actually get rid of it. It's just cost less. Ah, man. We know that they have removal for 1 creature, so we have to play out the other one as a threat, right? Pass the turn. Okay, we're done. Whatever. Oh, gosh. Yeah, is this deck even playing a win con? I feel like it's got to be Professor Onyx, and that's like all that they're going for is just straight up Professor Onyx. Drawing card, trying to find it. I mean, Professor Onyx is a good enough finisher to win games with it. Playing this kind of control-y deck. I feel like they've got to have a Shark Typhoon at some point too, though. If we haven't seen it yet, though, it's unlikely. but who knows? Bloodchief's Thirst. Okay. They now have Cling to Dust to stop our Silverquill commands from doing anything. That's decent. Maybe I should have grabbed the thing that gave him counters. We have 6 mana, so Mascot Exhibition doesn't quite do it for us just yet. Inkling Summoning is a little bit easier to cast. Having more threats is more difficult for them to deal with. So far, I haven't actually seen the counter spell yet, but this I think would actually be better. Expand Anatomy is decent. Let's actually go Mascot Exhibition. We're kind of due for a land here soon. We have lethal on board. If they kill stuff, we still at least have some threats. Only 3 cards left. Cling to Dust can gain him 3 life. What is this card? It's sort of the Blot Out the Sky. Doesn't hit a creature. Man, I feel like the escape side of this should exile it. Letting him have it every single time is so nice. Narfi. 3 mana, return it to the battle from the graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Okay. Well, we can finally cast a spell. Oh yeah, we got him. Since we have all the removal in the world. And it comes back tapped. And if this is a sock coming, then are we really going to win with this? Hopefully if they forget they can gain life. Okay, they have enough snow mana to bring it back. It does come in tap, so we can still hit in. Clever Lumimancer. We'll hold off on that one. Alright, so gains life with Cling to Dust. This is part of the issue of having a bunch of removal spells, is that then the only things that we can cast for the Clever Lumimancer is removal spells, which the only target for that is Clever Lumimancer. That's bad stuff, if you didn't know. Pass the turn. How many creatures do I have left in the graveyard? 1 more? Okay, so they can go up to 5. They didn't bring back Narfi. I guess, yeah, they would have died, huh? Drawing. How many cards left in the graveyard? They have to cast 1 more thing to be able to do this again. Oh no, they need 5 cards. Yeah, so sweet, sweet. Not too shabby. I did not expect to win that one, but we take those wins. We definitely take those wins. All right, so in the breakdown analysis for this deck, this deck basically comes down to Silverquill stuff in general is actually really good. I think actually Clever Lumimancer with some of these things work really well. I honestly, Extus is bomb. Like I want to start building more like a bigger Extus deck because I think Extus is actually really good. Yeah, the Awaken the Blood Avatar, I'm not sure is actually worthwhile all the time. It does hit in for 6 when it hits the time that comes in. I think there is like a Mardu Magecraft deck that can be pretty good. I've seen versions of that, and Extus comes into that for sure. But the basic takeaway from this one is the worst cards in this deck are all the Inkling cards. They kind of like forgot about Inkling, I think, when they were building this set. They're just like, oh, we made Pest really busted. We made even the spirits are not that bad. Inkling, Silverquill just got everything that was like, oh yeah, and they also have a mascot called Inklings, and don't worry about it. And that's kind of how it feels as well. So Dramatic Finale isn't the worst card. It actually is decent if you're playing lots of tokens and stuff, but I think it's more of a tokens card rather than an Inkling card. Yeah, I don't know exactly how to make that work. Clever Lumimancer, Killian, Professor of Symbology, Elite Spellbinder, Silverquill Command, Extus. Those cards, boom, bam, awesome. Humiliate, Heartless Act, Bloodchief Thirst work pretty well together. I think you drop the Dramatic Finales, drop out Blot Out the Sky, drop out the Umbral Juke. I don't like the sacrifice here. I think the sacrifice with the Silverquill Command is enough, and it is good enough to be useful. I think you just go up to full play set of Symbology. You find another 1-drop to play here. Yeah, what's a good 1-drop to play in these colors? Selfless Savior could be nice with Extus to be able to bring it back over and over again. Could be really nice. Fairy Guide Mother, just to be able to have the extra spells with Lumimancer. I think it's one of those. Like, it's either Fairy Guide Mother or Giant Killer or both. Kind of let yourself have some removal with that. Maybe even take out some of these like Bloodchief Thirst or Heartless Act. Humiliate, I really like in the deck. Umbral Juke definitely did not like it. Shadrix also not very good. I think you go up to 2 or 3 copies of Extus. We luckily found this one copy like a couple of games there, and it actually was doing really well for us. Elite Spellbinder, man, I really like this card. With some other discard and whatever else, it creates enough hate on a hand that it actually is really powerful. I think in this format right now, everyone's casting instances, using non-creature spells because of all the spells from Strixhaven. And so honestly, Duress might be a good card to be bringing in, just because it does hurt. Having this on turn 1 takes the Willful Haven or Cultivate from a Sultai Ultimatum deck, which does give you enough to get in damage. And then if you find it later game, you can hit the ultimatums, get those out of the hand. Having Duress humiliates, maybe as like 6 different removal spells. Elite Spellbinder also to hate the hand a little bit more to make ultimatum cost 9 actually does make a big difference for that deck specifically. Getting rid of their different removal spells, getting rid of whatever else can let you actually play tempo pretty well. And so I think that's probably where this deck needs to go to. You can bring in Skyclave Apparition for the 3-drop slot. I don't think you want to go too heavy into white if you're still playing other things, but Skyclave Apparition works really well with Extus as well. Kind of just another thing you keep bringing back over and over again. Every time you cast a spell, if it dies, it comes back. You get to get rid of something else. Yeah, let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this deck. What things would you change with it? What things would you do? Overall, I like it. I think it was powerful, except for the Inkling side of things. And that was kind of to be expected, honestly. But you guys had asked for it, and I tried to give as much as I could for you. I don't think we ever once got an Inkling with Dramatic Finale, not one time. There's enough exile removal in the format that it's kind of doesn't work quite as well. I think that you need to play this kind of like almost like aristocrat style, or like combo off with it. But even then you can only trigger it 1 time each turn. So it's not like it's that busted. There's other stuff that was 5 mana that did way better things. So yeah, I'm not a fan of this card. I'm not a fan of the Inkling stuff in general. It's not like it's the worst card in existence, but it's not powerful enough. It's a 4 mana do nothing, and it really does kind of do nothing. Unless you already have a board full of tokens, which then it can give an Anthem effect, but instead just play Leonin Light Scribe and cast a spell. Way better option, And so, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it for Standard, especially. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much, and bye-bye.